Okay.
Good afternoon and assalamu alaikum, everyone. National Federation of Maldives Employees webinar series. Episode 9 is focused on insurance, and the topic for the day is the Maldives insurance industry and innovative insurance products for the new business environment. We are nearing the end of the series, and tomorrow we will have our final episode on the overall economy and the economic recovery post-COVID-19 Maldives. We have an esteemed group of eminent leaders in the insurance industry of Maldives with me today. I will try to introduce with no particular order, so don't think that your name was the last. It's because I deliberately did it. It isn't like that. The print came to me like this, so maybe the team that's helping me just did it as they received it by your emails. I would start with Mr. Hassan Fiyaz. Mr. Hassan Fiyaz is a postgraduate, has a postgraduate in insurance law. He has been an insurance supervisor for the past 10 years and currently heads the insurance supervision department of the Maldives Monetary Authority. Welcome to the panel, Hassan Fiyaz. Next is Mr. Ahmed Ameel, our friend. Mr. Ameel has a Master of Science in Insurance and Risk Management, CASP Business School, City University, the United Kingdom. His professional qualification includes Associate Chartered Insurance Institute, ACII, United Kingdom, Associate of Malaysian Institute, Insurance Institute, AMII, Malaysian Chartered Insurer and Chartered Insurance Institute. Mr. Ameel was the face of Allied Insurance Maldives with his service to the Allied Insurance starting in 1997 as an underwriting officer, moving up the ranks to become the Managing Director of Allied Insurance in 2013 until the end of January 2019. He then worked as an independent insurance consultant until he took over the role as the Managing Director of Dhivehi Insurance in February 2020, where he is currently serving. Mr. Abdul Wahid Thowfeeq. Mr. Wahid is an entrepreneur and the co-owner of NC's group of companies. He is a chartered insurer by profession and has a long career of 20 years at Allied Insurance and also led the company for 6 years. He's currently the co-founder and chairman of Dhivehi Insurance Company. With us here today is also Mr. Deeptha Dias. Am I pronouncing correctly, Mr. Dias? Mr. Dias is widely acknowledged as a leading figure in the insurance industry with over 20 years of experience. In expanding the insurance industry, Mr. Dias started his career in one of the leading insurance companies of Sri Lanka, joining the miscellaneous insurance department of the Ceylinco Insurance Company in 1993. Mr. Dias was seconded to Male to lead the Ceylinco Insurance Maldives operations as the branch manager in 2005. Thereafter, he served as the senior manager in 2007 in Sri Lanka, in their Sri Lanka office. Mr. Dias was the chief manager of Ceylinco Insurance in Maldives from 2009 to 2015. Currently, Mr. Dias is the chief operating officer of Solarelle Insurance in Maldives. Mr. Santhosh Subramaniam. Mr. Santhosh is an ACIC associate member of Ceylinco Insurance College in Sri Lanka and holds an MBA in finance from the University of Bedfordshire, United Kingdom. He has been in the insurance industry for over 5 years with Ceylinco Insurance Group, starting out as the head of central operations and took the helm of the Maldives office in 2019. Mr. Santhosh has 10 years of leadership experience, and prior to venturing into the insurance industry in 2015, he was working with the top 4 retail and FMCG brands in the United Kingdom. Currently, he is the CEO of Ceylinco Insurance Company in the Maldives. Mr. Hareez Sulaiman. Mr. Hareez joined Amana Takaful PLC in 2002 when they expanded. And when they expanded in 2005 as a registered entity, Mr. Hareez was assigned to spearhead the Maldivian operation. Both academically and professionally, Hareez pursued his higher studies in the field of finance. He holds an honors degree in accountancy from the International Islamic University of Malaysia and is an associate of the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants in the United Kingdom. He has further enhanced his knowledge in Islamic finance by completing the study programs offered by SEMA, United Kingdom. With 18 years of Takaful experience to his credit, he now heads Amana Takaful Maldives PLC as its Chief Executive Officer cum Managing Director. I think that completes my introductory part of the episode. Again, with no particular order, I have received these questions, which was prepared after a lot of research for the current situation in the Maldivian insurance industry, as well as the regional and global situation. So I will pass my first question to Mr. Ameel. Mr. Ameel, you ready?
I am.
Okay. My first question would be, the COVID-19 crisis continues to have a significant impact on individuals, society and businesses, and the wider economy across the globe. The insurance industry has also not escaped its impact, but research shows that insurers have responded quickly to the crisis. As the broader economy starts to recover slowly in response to the pandemic, insurers will face a number of challenges, but also see many new opportunities in the medium to long term. Can you please elaborate on this in the context of the Maldivian insurance industry and the opportunities in this industry for the youth of this country?
Thank you very much, Janah. Thank you very much for the opportunity and hosting this conference as well. Regarding the question that you shared, Maldivian industry also suffered because of COVID. But unlike the other industries, international insurance industries, our industries, we were not exposed to COVID cover that much, because as you know, Maldives, our insurance industry is solely depending on tourism industry, and resorts and play a major role in all our books and our business entities, business organization. So all these years, we have been giving insurance, but pandemic has been not part of the insurance at all. There are one or two incidents where the pandemic where infectious diseases is covered, but because of the extent of the cover of this coverage, we are not badly hit, like unlike our colleagues in Europe. So I would say that as of now, this incident, all our Maldivian industry has suffered least when compared to our colleagues. But this does not stop us from this does not spread from the exploring new opportunities in the market. As you know that this has brought a major question to the industry, that whether pandemic can be covered or not. I was reading an article yesterday from regarding the London market, and they were saying that the CEO of Hanoi was asked the same question: how we can handle this, whether we can cover it or not, or how we can cover any future pandemics. The answer was very simple. There should be a compulsory cover, just like the natural disaster pool in some other region. There should be a pool or a national scheme where the similar incidents, similar risks can be covered. We have been advocating that Maldives should have a natural disaster pool or the regional pool, where to avoid any future incidents like tsunami. So in that way, pandemics also should be globally pooled risk or regional pool risk to avoid any losses, because there is no one single insurance company in the world who can finance, who can insure pandemic, unless and until we all collaborated, make it compulsory and build enough fund for that. So going forward, national regional pools will come covering pandemics and similar infectious diseases, because we need to build a fund for that. I'm sure my Sri Lankan colleagues will understand. They understand. They had a terrorism pool during the civil war, and it was a very profitable pool. is so during that incident, the long civil war, terrorism was covered. Terrorism was compulsory covered, and it was covered. The reinsurance was done provided from the pool. On a similar on a similar platform, we should come up with Maldives should come up with a pool for, not only for pandemic but also for natural disasters. That is the going forward. I believe that our regulators will take this into consideration, and we will see how we can tackle. Because mind you, when the next pandemic occurs or when the natural disaster occurs, if we are not prepared, this will be worst. Because from now onwards, you will see all our clients, they've been asking for pandemic covers. How long we can say no? We can't keep on saying no, there's no cover, because by early next year or mid next year, there will be some insurer or someone coming with pandemic cover for hotels and BI. And if we are not with that, then we'll not be part of the industry. So we will come with that. And if there is not pooled properly or administered properly, then any future pandemics or any future incident, any future calamities will have a negative effect on all our books.
Thank you very much for that. I understand that the pandemic risk is not a risk that has been covered in most parts of the world, because nobody expected this kind of thing to happen, right? So we now have climate risk, we have political risks in some part of the world, no pandemic risk. I'll come back to this. I have more questions, all right? My next question goes to Fiyaz. Fiyaz, my question to you would be, the first question, the far-reaching impact of COVID-19 calls for sustained vigilance by both supervisors and insurers. What are the steps taken, if any, taken by the Maldives Monetary Authority for the extra vigilance under the current scenario? And could you explain, as the regulator, your interventions in terms of helping ease the functioning of the industry in the post-pandemic phase? And if there are any measures currently warranted which would unwind through a carefully crafted exit strategy that preserves sound risk management practices and protects policyholders' interests, so that it helps both the policyholders in terms of obtaining cheaper premiums, while the insurance companies would find it easier to mitigate their losses under the pandemic phase?
Thank you for the question. I will start a little back. Like Mr. Ameel mentioned, the impact of COVID in our insurance industry is limited. It's different from, I would say, other industries of the world. It's different from other countries. But then, having said that, we still have some similar things as well. The impact, although it is small, the overall business is down throughout the industry, throughout all the companies. The top line, the effect is mainly on top line. However, like Mr. Ameel mentioned, COVID has not affected to, there's no effect of increase in claims due to COVID or cancellations widespread. There are a few claims related to COVID as well, especially on business interruptions, but these are very minute, very less amount of claims. Insurance is different. The effect of the top line getting translated to the bottom line takes time. I think I am facing some. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. It takes some time. So even the business is down today or during the past few months, the actual impact of that downturn will come throughout the year, because in insurance, your bottom line gets affected from retained earned premium. So in insurance, we have some time, still we have some time for the real impact from COVID. And MMA is closely monitoring this situation, and also MMA is closely monitoring, helping companies to implement their business continuity plans in this situation. We are providing any assistance, all sort of assistance to companies to function, to overcome difficulties, especially during the lockdown. Even we ourselves had difficulty in running our day-to-day businesses. And the most important thing for us, for me, that I believe is for a company to have better risk management and better managerial positions, regulations and aspects, to have a better top management, to have a better leadership. So that will make sure the company is running smoothly even during this difficult seasons. And likewise, a couple of days, I think during this week, we have rolled out corporate governance code that will also apply to insurance industry. So these things will affect smooth running of insurance companies, as well as we are working on different solvency mechanisms so that we'll be able to monitor more closely. And most importantly, as a regulator, the most important tool that we use to regulate insurance companies are moral suasion. We do not impose things on insurance companies as much as possible, but we have a dialogue with companies, and we try to get into an understanding of the situation, and that is how we would like to operate. And one thing we do not want to do is put more regulatory hindrances, especially at a difficult time like this. So in terms of, there are measures taken in other jurisdictions like capital preservation measures and many things, especially for COVID. But we do not have this. We have not introduced these difficult types of regulations. One thing is the impact is not that high. In fact, if we take claims because of COVID, actually in some classes, claim actually went down because everybody was stuck at home. In health, there was totally no claims, because if you have in other jurisdictions, if you have COVID, then the health insurance will be affected. But here, the government takes care of everything, so there's no COVID claim. And then since everybody was locked down in their houses, nobody was going to the doctor, so health was down, motor claims was down, and I think hull insurance, this was also down. But then during the COVID period, they had a different weather patterns. So there were some claims unrelated to COVID, but because of COVID, the claim was not as much. So I think our industry, the impact on Maldivian insurance industry is, I would not say there was no impact. There was an impact, but it is small, and we are yet to see the real impact later on down the line. But the other thing is, we have seen some improvements when we see the second quarter returns. When we just received a couple of days back the second quarter returns from the companies, and we have seen already signs of improvement in the industry. Most companies that we have received data right now, it has started improving improving premium and improving bottom line. So as regulator, we do not have strict regulations and measures, but however, we are monitoring, and we will, if we find that there is a need for a drastic measure, then we will take it at the correct time. But right now, we don't do more than what I have just said. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So you mean as the regulator, you're happy with how things are managed by all the insurance companies in the Maldives, and you're also on top of it. You're making sure that things are in proper order, that nothing goes wrong under the current circumstances. So it gives us a very good sign that the Maldivian insurance industry is well looked after by the regulator, and also there is the fullest cooperation from the industry operators. I think that's the message you're giving us, right?
Yes, that's it. And I would
Yes.
like to add, currently the management the people that are managing these insurance companies, they are very good people, and they are very capable. Right now,
Yes.
we have the confidence that our companies are with very capable hands.
I think it's a very good lesson for other industries also to learn. When you put in place qualified people in the particular industry, and when you allow them to manage it in a professional manner, this is the end result. Especially when you face turbulent times, they know how to run through it because they experience and educated in the field. I think that with that, I will go to the next question. I have more questions for you, right? Thanks. Wahid, my question to you would be, COVID-19 pandemic has severely impacted multiple industries such as travel and transportation, retail and hospitality, both locally and internationally. Although the impact on the insurance sector, as we just said, is less severe in Maldives, we believe that it will be highly disruptive in some cases, ranging from employee and business continuity issues, client service considerations to operating profits under the current circumstances. The immediate concern for insurers may be or is the protection of employees, its distribution and partners for health and safety along with business continuity. As chairman of a wholly locally owned Maldivian insurance company, how have you managed your business both on the health and safety of your own employees as well as managing business with your clients while taking the necessary precautions under the HPA health and safety guidelines?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Janah, President of the National Federation of Maldivian Employers, for this opportunity. I think these discussions are very helpful to strategize our way forward in this kind of crisis scenario. And as far as the risks to our business are concerned, I would like to highlight a few things. Firstly, as you rightly mentioned, we have to be very mindful and pay special attention to the health and well-being of our employees. And from day one, we have been taking measures to see that our employees' well-being and safety are not compromised. And as many other companies have done, we have initiated working from home for our employees, and it has done. It has been very effective, and I think this is also one lesson we are learning from this, that this kind of new working system is possible, and I think therefore in the future we will be trying to find ways where we can combine the traditional working environment with a new technology-based work environment where some of the services can be outsourced or some of the staff can work from home, and so in this way we have mitigated the impact to our employees, and we have also made sure that all our customer services are not interrupted, and we are in regular contact with all our customers for the new business as well as the renewals. Of course, from the business side, the amount of business has reduced during this period of COVID, as there was a big decrease in the big business activity. As you would be aware, the whole country was, most of the country was under lockdown, and almost all businesses were closed except some essential businesses. So the amount of business that we had forecasted to do during this period had significantly decreased. But having said that, we do not have the kind of sustainability issues that many other industries, such as tourism or construction industries, you don't have a full stoppage of the business because, as I said, we are working remotely and still we are able to service our customers. I think the full impact of COVID is slowly will show its signs as we move forward into 2020 and 2021, because I think one of the main things that will happen is because of this economic recession, the business activity will be less. So the amount of new insurances that will come will be both few in number and in value as well. And the other factor will be that the clients will have a low liquidity position. So with that, the ability to pay premiums upfront will be reduced. So we will have to give them some kind of leeway to pay the insurance premiums as well. And we'll have to blend with a new reality of doing the business and working closely with our customers. I think most of our competitors are here, so they would all be aware that the market size would not increase as we expected. So we will have to do the business with a reduced market size this year, and that means that our share of the business will be reduced, and so this will be the major impact that I will see. But going forward, the one positive point is that the COVID has really highlighted the need that there need to be protection for any kind of risk that the business can face. And as Mr. Ameel mentioned, I think clients are also even currently requesting whether they can have pandemic cover. But while they think about the pandemic cover, they also think about other risks of the business that are critical in nature. And so in the future, there will be more kinds of insurance requests coming up. So this is my assessment. I would like to keep my answers brief just so that everybody can participate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wahid. My question was about the health and safety, ensuring both at your with your employees, as well as giving that assurance that while you carry out the exercises of inspections and other meetings, that under a COVID situation that you are fully prepared. And I think you are ensuring that this would continue and the HPA regulations would be met, because we are still going through the pandemic. Till we get out of it, you assure, what you have said just assures everyone that your company is fully prepared to meet those guidelines and conduct business.
Yes, definitely. And we understand that it's a challenging period for our customers, and we are working very closely with them. What kind of flexibilities we can give to them in terms of even to pay the insurance premiums. We are giving them some flexibilities, and many of our businesses also related to the projects that they are doing, like the construction projects. There may be some delays due to this, so we are working together with them to understand their needs and giving the support whatever we can.
Thank you very much. My next question goes to Santhosh. Santhosh, recently Lloyd's revealed that it will pay out in the range of $3 billion to $4.3 billion to its global customers as a result of the far-reaching impacts of COVID-19. This is on par with 9/11 in 2001 and at par with many other global incidents, all of which led to similar payouts by the Lloyd's market. these losses could rise further if the current pandemic continues into another quarter. So it's believed that once the scale of complexity of the social and economic impact of COVID-19 is fully understood, the overall cost to the global insurance non-life industry is likely to be far in excess of those historical events. Have Ceylinco Insurance paid out any COVID-19 related compensation for any businesses in the Maldives or in the region? That would be my question to you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Janah, first and foremost, for the opportunity. Now, answering your question, yes, we are in the process of working out a couple of claims for some of our largest corporate resort clients. As far as we have not paid out any claims yet, but we do have a couple of claims which we are presently working on with our international reinsurers by their internationally appointed loss adjusters. And I think it would because the claims that we've incurred, although they are only very minute, they are just 1 or 2, but then the claims incurred are very new. This is the first time the insurance industry in the Maldives has faced a claim of such a nature. So yes, we are in the process of analyzing, and we are at very early stages of reviewing the claim. And once our loss adjusters have completed the investigations in place, obviously we will proceed with in accordance with the terms and conditions of the policy. We will proceed again with compensating our clients.
Thank you very much for that. May I ask you a specific question? So that means these are COVID-related insurances, or how was it? How was the policies done? Why would you do a payout if the cover was when you had a pandemic or an epidemic situation covered in these cases, or?
Well, these are common business losses to resort operations. So obviously on the business the policies that we issue to customers. So we have policies which kind of carry pandemic losses as an indirect extension, although they are not directly covered. So obviously the coverage wouldn't apply for the full scale. So obviously it wouldn't cover the BI losses from the day they closed down from the time the Maldives shut down the borders, or the resorts when the resorts shut down their borders, all the way until the 15th of July when the Maldives decided to open the borders. But then it goes as an extension rather than an exclusive cover altogether. So obviously the coverage would be very limited. So the compensation also on the other hand, would reflect the same. But what we have done is we have partnered up with one of the largest reinsurance groups in the world, who have designed a specific tailor-made insurance policy to cover business losses against future pandemics and epidemics. The product is tailor-made to cater only for the tourism and hospitality industry at the moment. So we are still at initial stages on putting the product out in the market. So I think going forward, I think there will be many reinsurers and insurance companies who will sort of come out with similar products where they can specifically cover. So it will at this stage, I think, but we foresee that there would be few future insurance policies similar to terrorism policies or liability policies, which are tailor-made and individual policies to cater and compensate for business losses of any future pandemics and epidemics.
Thank you very much. So basically, it's a loss of business situation right now, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you very much. Deeptha, insurance is a highly complex business involving multiple processes to administer existing policies, pricing new businesses, sell new businesses, renew policies, address customer inquiries, and process claims. Adding to this, their external networks, example, brokers and agents. The COVID-19 poses a wide-ranging series of challenges for insurance to maintain their operations as normal ways of, the normal businesses can be severely disrupted. So how are insurers faring both locally and in the region? What are the critical flashpoints and what longer-term changes to operations may we see in the future as a result?
Thank you, Mr. Janah. Thank you very much. Especially, I wanted to thank you regarding these episodes. This is very timely. We need not only the insurance industry, the whole industries, they need this. So, as far as your question, what our immediate concerns was protecting health and safety of our staff. So immediately, just before the lockdown, we had meetings, and we have set up our systems to work remotely. So we knew that this will be, because we are hearing from the other countries that how this is going to be effective for the countries. So then what we have done was we have set up protocols. That means like cross-function emergency decision-making teams. It is just like a COVID task force we have set up immediately, because we wanted to keep the staff away, keep the distance, to safeguard their self. And the other hand, the insurance is a personal touch. Traditionally, relationships we have built earlier, that means in the past, it is face-to-face meetings. But now it is not possible because of the distance. So those are the challenges now we are facing. What we are doing is, now currently, if you take it, more than 90%, approximately more than 90% people, staff, now working at home because of this situation. So, tell you the truth, now future comes early now. So we have to get ready for that one. And the other hand, the insurers always encourage to by their ability to adjust. So I don't think that all my colleagues here, they have big problems to change to this situation. So because slowly everybody is getting ready to that one. So working remotely is not a new thing for insurance companies, because this was started, I can remember this was started somewhere early 2000. So to work as digitalizing the situations with the insurance policies. So then currently all the insurers, I know that most of the insurance companies, not the most, actually all the insurance companies are now adapt those systems. So that means the online systems to pay premiums, to get policies as well. So immediately after this hit came, the COVID hit came, we have set up a cross-functional emergency decision-making teams coordinating the company response to set up new safety protocols, assure quicker actions. So comprehensive communication system placed. So then it is easy for our employees to contact the clients and with the status that with the clients to continuity plans of the business. So that is one major concern that we have considered, concentrate on that one, because to set up the necessary remote actions, computer systems and our staff, so that they can conduct business from remote locations and establish new cybersecurity protocols to permit the safe exchange of confidential information among the staff connecting from the outside office. So we have provided laptops, tablets, portable devices, and we have arranged VPN networks to securely remotely connect to our core system, and kept our IT support team standby always to answer staff questions as well as the customer inquiries. So then it was for us to manage that one with this immediate situation. It was little easy with the when we planned little early, just before the lockdown. So effect of the pandemic, nobody could have anticipated the size of the quantum. This is really large, because this nobody can the biggest problem with the insurers now, to what do you call, the accept the loss or liability is matters with the quantum, and the coverage. Other hand, the coverage also we have to think whether it is covered or not. So that those are the biggest challenges. Now, the other hand, alternative working arrangements for our employees. That means working at home, and to protect our staff, and adapt possible office access restrictions, because we have to restrict the certain staff to attend office because of the situation, because we have started to work shift basis from the beginning. So then it is minimizing our risk. The whole entire staff is not exposed to this crisis. So the other challenges, what we can see is handling claims. So that is basically it is very difficult when you have travel restrictions are restricted by the government or anybody. So that is really not possible to go and do inspections, investigations. So we have set up new protocols to investigate from our office. That means remotely, and any alternative remote locations where possible, we have set up everything. So that will be help us to do claim investigations, claim assessments, but still we are struggling certain areas that we wanted to clear that one, because if you take it like hull claims, so definitely we have to go, and if it is a larger fire claims, so we have to do forensic investigations. So those type of things we can't avoid anyway, but still we are trying our best to focus to adapt our systems whatever remotely. So, and the other hand, insurance markets will getting harder now. Definitely we can see a possible premium increases, because I can see some of the insurance companies, rather the insurance companies, some reinsurance companies also degrading in the market, reinsurance market, and some insurance companies are going runoff. That means they are going to close their operations, as well as some they are going to merge with some strong companies. That is because of that mainly not because of the claims, I can see. That is because of the low premiums, the businesses. That is where the insurers are now finding difficulties. So the other fact is the COVID situation ignited debates on the coverages. That now everyone knows that one. Even you have asked that question from Santhosh. Have you paid any claim? Because those are now under debates. In international courts, even certain coverages, actually the coverages what we have provided are very limited covers, and those coverages are actually provided as an extensions to main policies. So then we have to go word by word, because this is not happened in Maldives. This has happened somewhere else. So this is nobody has focused on this one earlier. So, and the other hand, the reinsurers side, even the reinsurers, this is a big topic they are discussing in the world, because they have to change certain policy coverages, legislative amendments to propose policies. Those type of things are now coming up. But the thing is, as insurance companies locally, I know with my colleagues, that colleagues mean my friends, we are trying our best to establish the best practice of the market by keeping the best interest to our customers, to delivering our promises. That is how everybody is now trying, because out of the COVID, everybody is finding solutions to get out of this one and wanted to continue the business smoothly. So then, tell you the truth, there is no real roadmap to scale this one, how to handle this situation, because the remote working currently widespread, likely to promote an increase in hacking attempts. The computer, the cyber attacks and all those things also now coming up. And not only that one, the fraudulent claims are coming up. So we have to mitigate those things, and we have to see how to overcome those situations, because now we are mostly handling remotely, because we have to keep the distance and all. So whatever it is clear that there is no going back in this situation. So everybody has to face to the new normal now. So that actually now what we have to consider, we have to live with the new reality, with different operation models, different plans, and different employee expectations and exceptions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. That was a long response. So the adaptation is taking place, the transition to work under the current circumstances. I have a question. Are you, I mean, we have most of the insurance companies here in the Maldives. Are you all working together to discuss a roadmap, how you would be conducting your business together with the regulator? Have you all sat together or done a Zoom together to discuss this kind of industry-wide steps, or would that be something that you would be looking at?
Yeah, already we had few industry meetings, but not with the regulator yet. But in the future, definitely we will discuss matters with regulator. But we have taken certain actions how to go forward with the premiums, because the markets are going harder. So we can't go because the reinsurers also will increase the rates, premiums, and the terms they will be changing. So we are discussing everything, how we are going to manage this one. So as a whole for the country.
So although you are competitors, you all sit together also to plan your collective measures for the good of the industry and the economy as a whole. I'm sure you should be doing that.
Yeah,
right?
Mr. That is not
that's very important especially for a country like ours. And I'm sure the regulator would be fully supportive of any initiative you collectively take, and I'm sure they would be fully behind you. I will come back to you, Fiyaz, on
actually,
that. I'll have a question on that. I'm sure you will be fully backing the industry, as you earlier mentioned that as well. Hareez, the last question of my first round. Maldives insurance industry has been showing steady growth throughout, notwithstanding the trying market conditions currently. Potentially, the industry will have a wider scope to offer suitable products to the market, particularly in this post-COVID-19 era. What opportunities do you see where the insurance companies could capitalize on?
Thank you, Janah. I fully agree with your statement on the steady growth of the industry. Although Maldives insurance industry is sailing towards its golden jubilee next 5 years' time, it is still relatively in a nascent stage. The present size of the industry as per 2019 published statistics, it's about 160 million US dollars, which is an equivalent Maldivian rupiah 929 million. To give an overview of the industry to the audience, I have just summarized the published statistics over the past 3 years. The industry has recorded an average year-on-year growth of 11%. 2017 and 18, the industry recorded 14% growth. It took a dip in 2019 with 6%. With the existing COVID situation, probably it will take further dip as well for 2020. The gross written premium overall in the industry can be categorized under the 6 main classes. The fire class is actually taking the lead with 32%, which includes all the premium derived from resorts, guest houses, dwelling houses, commercial properties, and so on. Followed by the health class with 25%. Miscellaneous is taking 23%, which includes all the engineering-related classes, contractors, all risk covers, travel insurance, personal accident, and so on. Hull is taking the 4th place with 13%. Each motor and marine classes are taking 3%. So that's the way that industry GWP is spread through the mix of classes. 64% of the total GWP is paid out as reinsurance. And the insurance penetration is as low as 1.1%. For last few years, it has never surpassed 1.1%. So like it's been 0.9 to 1, and it's 1.1. So there's huge potential in the market. The average profitability of the industry is 13.3% of the total GWP. This is taken on the average profits of the industry against the gross written premium of the industry. So having provided the list of details, as you all know, the COVID era has brought in severe imbalances to the world trade. And this has impacted the local industry to a greater degree and at a faster pace than generally predicted trends. And since you're hearing from the rest as well, all companies continue to thrive through this difficult time, focusing on strong digital infrastructure and flexible working force. The pandemic effect, I believe, will have insightful influence on few business lines. One of that is health insurance. What we foresee is as time moves by, the employees will demand a more holistic health care and greater financial protection. At the same time, the employers will more focus on how to reduce the administrative burden and be open and trying out more innovative products from the service providers. Furthermore, serving the employers, the employees more effectively and affordably, given the future threats of the sudden employment disruption. So this is what employers are going to look at. So quite interestingly, what we see is we are entering, or we have already entered to a norm where the virtual access to primary health care is available at the moment. The service providers have already implemented online consultations without physical contact with the patients. Also, facilities have been introduced to conduct relevant tests to confirm pandemics, and this will be very widely available among all like big timers, small timers, like those who are into health care industry. The preventive measures or the care for pandemic also will become common eventually. This will include vaccinations and so on. Although some of these may be general exclusions, particularly on the vaccination and the medical insurance, eventually there could be a demand for comprehensive covers. So therefore, I think the insurance companies have a good potential to craft niche health insurance packages for both corporates as well as individuals. As Ameel mentioned earlier, with regard to these the pool, that this is something that it's quite interestingly that we also have discussed from the industry side. The another needed product is to do with travel insurance, the inbound travel insurance packages. As a country, Maldives is heavily depending on tourism. And yes, they've been seeing several measures taken to revive the tourism industry under a new normal era. Although each arriving tourist will have a travel insurance cover, which is considered as a outbound travel insurance cover for them. I think to give comfort and to take care of the burden of the health authorities and the government, it will be prudent for us to look at an inbound cover now. The contribution that is actually collected out of these covers also can be looked at how we can set up a pool separately or have an arrangement to manage these risks. It will be not only benefiting the tourist who is coming in, like when in the event of the tourist is confirmed with the diseases or anything to do with pandemic, there are a lot of procedures to be taken, to be executed from this as per the authorities side. So there's a huge expenses involved. So that's the health insurance or the travel insurance cover that we're offering with this medical benefit to a great extent that will be taken care by the insurance product, which can be offered locally. So this will give a peace of mind to the tour operators and the resort as well. So these are the primary opportunities the insurance could immediately work on. Of course, there are certain additional opportunities to work on the business interruption covers. Those are actually, we are in a very early stage. So when time passes by, we'll be able to see more niche products offered in the market in the future.
Thank you very much. That completes the first round of our questions, and we have just about 30 minutes. So I'll start the second round of questions. I hope you limit your time to 2 or 3 minutes for the second round of questions. My first question of the second round I'm posing to Ameel. Ameel, do you believe that the Maldivian insurance industry offers good employment and entrepreneurial opportunities for Maldivian youth aspiring to seek new avenues to build their professional and even startup businesses post-COVID? Your mic.
Thank you, Janah. I believe so. I believe that our industry do allow new talents to come up. And this is one industry where I believe that Maldivian youth can capitalize on. Because look, we're going back, this is the only industry where I would say that with proper education and experience, you can work in anywhere in the world. One of the few industries where anywhere in the world, and because I've seen my colleagues, the fact that we have 3 Sri Lankan gentlemen sitting here says a lot. They have their good experience in their native country. They come here and they're managing successful business. Says that this is a very global industry, insurance industry, and professionals, those professionals seeking an opportunity in this industry, I believe that Maldivian youth can actually study and they can see they can build their future in this industry. And we have a very good we have a very big opportunity because Maldives is a service-based country, and we can be another Bermuda or Macau or Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo and Bermuda offshore. They provide offshore insurances, so we can be like that. With proper regulations, proper legislations, our industry can grow globally. Because we are sitting in between Singapore and Dubai, we are the regional hubs for insurance, and we are still, because of the strategic location, and because our so because of the flexibility, I believe flexibility, and if we can develop the industry and we can actually market this industry to our youth. The fact that I am sitting here, myself and Wahid sitting as agent, there is opportunity. And I believe that we have, but of course, more need to be done. More need to be done. But I believe that this, in time, like another 10, 15 years, I believe there will be more insurance professionals, because this is, for insurance company to function, you need qualified accountants, you need professional qualified forensics, you need good marine engineers, you need good surveyors. So basically, a lot of industries, a lot of professionals can be attached to this industry, including if we go expand to life insurance, we need good fund managements, good fund managers, we need investment consultants. So those are areas where our present youth can actually come up with, can work in this industry. So if we going forward, I believe that we will see a very vibrant industry with a lot of professionals attracting.
Thank you very much, Ameel. We have a lot of regional countries, and we, as you said, we are located in a very strategic location. And Maldives doesn't have the big insurance companies based here. You think there's an opportunity to partner with such international, internationally the big players, and offer them, if you offer them the opportunity to get based here and then serve the region, you think that is the future of the industry?
I believe so. For example, if a reinsurer to come up and set up in Maldives, it will not be economical for them. So, but if we are targeting, if I strategically plan in such a way that we can sell this insurance, we can provide insurance to the region. For example, we see Mauritius. There are a lot of Indian companies based in Mauritius, operating from Mauritius. A lot of Indian companies, and just because Mauritius, Seychelles are the Mauritius, we can't say Mauritius and Seychelles, just close by. They have a lot of companies serving to this region. New India has an operation in Seychelles, Mauritius, where they work from Mauritius office to East African and Indian subcontinents. So we see, likewise, we can work like that. Only thing we need to do is that regulations at legal framework should be there. We can have another trade-free zone like DIFC in Dubai. DIFC is one of the success stories. I'm sure our colleagues, we have visited them. It's a financial institute where they have their own set of laws, regulations. British judges are there to supervise regulations. It's a different legal system, and the country and that DIFC is growing in such a way. The first time I went there, it was 10 years back. Myself and Mr. Wahid went there 10 years back. I was there 2 years back as well. Look at the time of how they grew. I am sure we can be like that. And we have to understand the fact that Munich Re and Swiss Re will not open office in Maldives.
I think in future that dialogues like this will help us, think out of the box and keep doing things differently as well. Because Maldives needs diversification, improving and enhancing the existing industries, and I think in the long run it will benefit all the entire country. I'll get back to you again. Wahid, do you believe that the local and foreign insurance companies in the Maldives have an equal playing field? If yes, please elaborate the benefits of having foreign players in the local industry. If not, what are the disadvantages or the challenges faced by the local insurance industry while competing with the international firms?
Thank you, Janah. I think it's not a question of local or foreign, but it's a question of supporting the market and being responsible to the market, whether it is local or foreign company. If they are set up here and they keep the funds here, they put expertise here, and they are able to service the market for long term with the responsibility for the market. That will be the best thing for the Maldivian insurance industry. I say this from experience because when companies set up and in the good times they can stay, they can reap the benefits from the market. But it is the time when things are not so great, or when the things when there's a crisis situation, that we should think about the responsibility to the market. We in 2004 during the tsunami in 2004, one of the foreign players who set up here, they closed the office and altogether because they had a lot of losses. But such are the moments that we need the companies to be here and support the market for the long term. So what I would say is that all the companies in the market, if they are keen to develop the market for long term, with the developing the employees here and keeping the funds here. In insurance we get the premium funds as well, and I think it's our responsibility to invest the funds locally for the growth of other companies through the financial instruments as well, and this will have a resultant benefit to the economy. And so in this sense, I think that both foreign and local companies can benefit the market. What we do not desire to see is when foreign companies, they operate here more like an agency rather than a full-fledged company. When most of the decisions are being taken at an office overseas, where our clients do not have that kind of a relationship with the company, where our clients have only a front office here to deal with, and they have to go for the major decisions. It's always taken abroad. This is something that is a detriment to the development of the market, or if the companies are not developing the expertise here, so that will also reduce the quality of the service to the market as well. I think this is not only I would say this to the whole financial sector, to the banks and insurance companies and other financial service providers as well, that because there are some investments of foreign made in Maldives as well, but sometimes we see that they are not operating as a full-fledged companies like the Maldivian companies compared to the Maldivian companies that are operating. So I think indigenous companies, for example, I would say very proudly that indigenous companies are the best product for the Maldives, as this is their home ground where they can support the market for the long term. But if the foreign companies are also doing the same thing, it's very well and good, and I'm sure that
So
all our industry players would be thinking the same thing. Other than that, I do not have any kind of challenge with foreign companies. But I think foreign companies also have some credit point, because as they operate in other markets, they also develop other products in other markets which they can also develop in Maldives, and there's also some expertise we can learn from them as well. So this is also a good point for the foreign companies as well.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much for that. So in other words, you don't need tradesmen here. We need good full-fledged businesses to come and work in the Maldives together and compete with the local companies as well. That would be a healthy competition, and Maldivians would be happy to be part of that competition as well, right? The other point is, I would like to ask you, maybe it's a very, as a businessman, it may not be a very easy question to ask for you to respond, but is there space for more insurance companies in the current market? Be honest with me.
Well,
you own a business,
yeah,
but I want to give that message to the market, right?
yeah, I
For
think
aspiring entrepreneurs. Do you
yeah.
have enough space, or is it already very crowded?
I think, what I believe is that, in 2016, there were 2 more companies added to the market. 2 more licenses were given, ourselves, and Solarelle Insurance also got the license. So the industry size, grew, I would say, more than 50%, because there were 3 companies, it added 2 more companies to the market. So in that sense, after that, with the competition, I think the rates in the premium rates in the markets also had fallen, and the new services that the new companies introduced also benefited the clients as well. So in that sense, I don't see that there is an additional space in the same kind of space for a new company in the market. But having said that, if any company is coming up with any specialized product or service that can add value and complement the service that we are doing, of course, there is a there's a market for that, and it would be a very welcome addition to the insurance industry.
Thank you very much for that. Great, thank you. Fiyaz, just combine 2 questions because the time is running out. Just in short, some countries have mandatory grace periods requiring insurers to provide extended grace periods due to COVID-19 paying their premiums. Example is like an insurance company being asked to provide their policyholders with at least 60 to 90-day grace periods, and the regulators intervene doing this. Secondly, also some countries, the regulators have been intervening and trying to help the policyholders getting some discounts on the premiums. Would that be interventions that you would be making as a regulator? What I understand from the dialogue so far today is that you and NFME are doing a wonderful job, managing this is the kind of industries that should flourish, that would contribute to the economy, not only tourism, construction. So we need the service sector to grow. So while you do this, these kind of interventions would help the businesses in a situation like this. So as the regulator, would you be looking at such interventions under the current scenario?
Yes, like Mr. Wahid mentioned, right now, our local insurance industry is very competitive. Everybody is competing each other fiercely, I would say, and I think all the CEOs will agree to it. And because of, and this is, I would say, the competition is healthy, and it is not, as far as we understand, the competition is healthy, but because of this competition, it is also providing lot of benefits to the industry and to the economy as well. I believe this is the time that insurers should be more fairer. They are already fair, but a little bit more fairer to the insurance policy holders, and help the policy holders in any way that they can. And like the 2 measures that you mentioned, providing a grace period, it is already there. Our companies are already providing 60 to 90% grace period on premium, and on general insurance and life insurance both as well. And especially in life insurance, the grace period is much longer. We have only one life provider, and even in general insurance, still it is like that. already companies are providing leeways and very generous leeways, discounts, and even in some situations breaks in insurance policy, so that during this period is over, when the things start better, they can continue again. And also discounts. Going to the next point, companies are providing discounts, and at this time, we don't think as a regulator that we should get into micromanagement and ask companies to do this and to do that. And that's something we try very much to not to do as a regulator. More, we try the companies to get to provide their best to the industry. I think I have answered your question there.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So, in other words, it is self-regulatory, and you allow the market forces to play on their own. As long as they are abiding by the laws and regulations, you are fine with that, right? I think
self-regulation,
policy, especially in an open market like this in the Maldives and with such stiff competition, I think it's a good point. Unless otherwise you deem it necessary, right?
That's right. More than self-regulation, we have been monitoring very closely what exactly is going on, especially after the COVID period, week by week, month by month, what is exactly going on, and we see all these developments. And companies are vigilant, and companies are providing these services, and we don't see any reason to get in.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Santhosh. Learning from the current COVID-19 pandemic, what are the different tools you can offer to clients, and how can insurance companies help businesses with new insurance products to mitigate losses that companies have to encounter in such a dire situation? Please try to respond as short as possible. We are running out of time, but take 2 or 3 minutes. Thank you, Santhosh.
Thanks, Mr. Janah. Now, in light of this situation, I think as an insurance company, what we experience is in comparison to the contemporary, standard, fire insurance or liability insurances. I think now our clients are more mindful about what they buy and what other type of coverages. So we've seen a rise in inquiries from our insureds on, whenever they buy a policy, they start asking questions now as to, what is covered, what is not covered, what is the scope of coverage, the terms, the conditions, etc. And I think the present COVID situation has also, as I mentioned on the first round of questions, has opened up new avenues for insurance companies and reinsurance companies to come up with new products. So as my colleagues mentioned, where there are various opportunities in terms of health insurance and travel insurances. We as Ceylinco, we have partnered up with Munich Reinsurance Group, and we have introduced a new pandemic insurance cover into the market. The product covers losses, business interruption losses due to any pandemics or epidemics, excluding COVID-19, obviously that being a known situation. So we have rolled out the product into the market. We rolled the product initially about 2 to 3 months ago, and now we are in discussion with a couple of resort operators and developers and owners, both international and local. So we have not just, this has given us an opportunity not just to market the product only in Maldives, but also in Sri Lanka. Obviously, we have an operation in Sri Lanka. And I think going forward, not just with the current situation, not just pandemic or epidemic, but then I think probably insurance companies and reinsurance companies will come up with more new products which they foresee would cause an imminent loss to insured operations. So I think this has created an opportunity for us to explore new avenues, come up with new and innovative products. So one such product is what which I mentioned, the epidemic risk solution. So then the epidemic also now, for example, there are, even if you take a standard terrorism policy, there are insurance companies are trying to, reinsurers are trying to sort of keep expand the cover as much as possible, try to foresee, what else could be covered or what else could sort of impact businesses. So I think the opportunity here is there, and other than the epidemic risk insurance, which covers just business. So I think in time to come, the reinsurers would come up with products which would cover the cover would not just be limited to resorts or hospitality industry, but we are already in discussion with the reinsurers, and I think we are working on expanding the product portfolio into the other industries, into the shipping, construction, whatsoever. So I think going forward, we hope to sort of come out with the product covering the entire sort of more segments of the industry in the near future.
Oh, thank you very much. So it's an evolving situation. With the evolving situation, you are also adapting to the new situation and trying to tailor make the products that are relevant to the current situation, right? So
yeah.
That's very important, I think. Deeptha, my question is, insurance companies have to move more advanced digital underwriting, claims and administrative process, and are in a much stronger position than others, although the processing time are slower now in the normal conditions. Those who do not have these capabilities or who rely on cruder technology workflows are likely to be struggling more. There is a risk of losing customers to more digitally enabled competitors moving forward, particularly in personal lines where many customers' patience with non-digitized processes these days is low. What are the steps taken by your company to further digitize your business, and what would you do differently post-COVID?
Thank you, Mr. Janah. Actually, as I said earlier, this is already started. Again, the digitalization by the insurance companies. Most of the companies locally are digitalized. Like, let's say the basically handling the health claims are full automated. And even you can buy policies from the online. You can pay settlements. You can take the motorbike third-party stickers online. So basically, this is already done. Actually, tell you the truth, the COVID has given little easier and quicker than all the insurance companies to make easier and quicker than the other industries, because we are transforming everything now to digital. And to other fact that what we are going to focus is we are more focusing to invest for the digital technology for smooth operation, because that is one area that we have to concentrate in the future, because there is no way go back. And the other hand, the mostly claims, that is the most challenging area. We are already now discussing with some international loss adjusters as well as the locals to make the claims digital claim services with photos, video call inspections. So you can keep the distance and you can avoid visits, reduce risk of spreading virus and all. So then what we are hoping to do, expanding more to this service, as we are going to take support from new drone services, surveyors. So that is help us to have surveyors without contact and physical attendance.
Great. So investment on the digital technology is happening in the industry. That's the take that we can understand from your response. Thank you very much. Hareez, because of the numerous changes in the insurance industry due to the pandemic, many executives feel the pressure to postpone strategic investments. Deeptha was just saying they're investing, but some are feeling that pressure even on transformation programs that warrant large-scale IT infrastructure upgrades. Do you believe that Maldivian insurance companies are far behind our regional players in the digital transformation, and that the insurance industry in the Maldives require a strategic shift to technology post-COVID-19. Hareez, your mic. Hareez, your mic.
Sorry about that. Janah, I think in my view, for a long time, the industry was not taking advantage of the opportunities offered by digitalization. This has, however, massively changed in the recent years. Over the period of time, we have been witnessing a transformation here. Maldives insurance industry is basically moving from the traditional approach towards adapting innovative methodologies. This is quite evident in many classes, as my colleagues mentioned earlier, in medical class, motor, hull, and I would say almost all classes. Now, being part of this fraternity and hearing from the others, I think the way that we have been able to actually take care of the technological aspects and our adaptability to respond to the business climate, changing business climate has actually paid us, it has taken us a long way. The importance given on the investments on the digitalization helped us during this crucial period. Let me just touch on a few areas. Now, the customer experience during pandemic. Now, how the insurance company's adaptability help the customers here is like many customers have experienced dramatic life changes for the past few months. Whether it be employment status or financial stability, physical health, emotional well-being, or perhaps all of them. The key to solid customer relationship will be the company's ability to effectively engage with them remotely to show uninterrupted services that are provided and removing as much as frictions as possible. This might include offering multiple communication channels, flexible payment options, and so on. Echoing to what, again, my colleagues have said, that the role of the mobile phones. Now, Maldives is far ahead in the technology compared to the other countries in the region. I think this country is well known to be a tech-savvy nation. With today's social distancing effort, mobile has played a vital role. Insurance companies have already invested in the mobile apps long ago, and including the relevant features that shall have the mobile-friendly feature, friendly websites and customer account portals, and facilitating swift mobile payments. All these have been rightly implemented, and I feel that the importance, realized importance, like where more and more investment is taking place. Other change that we see here is the automation. So the automation also, like the insurance companies have been able to change their traditional way of having their manual tasks into automated processes. Now with severely limited access to equipment and facilities, during this challenging time, the automation has become much more than just a convenience. Then moving on to the virtual reality. Now this too has become inseparable to us. This allows the insurance companies to conduct site inspections. In fact, we have actually carried out a few site inspections during this pandemic period using the virtual reality, conducting meetings, which we are doing now, and that's the way that all the insurance companies have been actually adapting their operations according to the trends. And the training activities also actually that has taken part in the past. So I would say the innovation and the adaptability remain at the heart of the business for all insurance companies. But as for the high-tech driven solutions, I think they maybe a little behind in this part of the world. I just would like to touch on one particular area on this.
We're running out of time. I think we have to just stop there. And I will just give you, each one of you, a short closing remark because we are just very near for prayer time. I just had some messages and observations to make, but I'm not going to ask these as questions. I'll just make it as a remark, and in your closing remarks, you can respond each and these remarks may relate to all of you. So one thing, some of the messages I've been getting is, so the Maldives law, the insurance law drafted, or the regulations are based, is it based on the English law, or how are the, because there are a lot of judgments also happening these days. So do we understand it properly, or how is it read? So these are some of the questions. Another question is that with the income tax, you also have the 10% withholding tax issue when you reinsure. That withholding tax, makes the viability issues, in Maldives very difficult. I'm not sure if you could answer all this at this time, but these are just some of the messages I have been receiving in private. So I just wanted to share it with you. So if you want to answer to these questions, you can answer, but I will give you 1 or just maximum 2 minutes each one of you to close this session, because we have to just get out of this before prayer time. Fiyaz, please, you can do your closing remarks. Fiyaz, your mic. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. The point on insurance law, not most, all the insurance policies are based on English law, but that doesn't mean it is the English law that English courts that you will go to hear. It is, everything will be heard in Maldivian law, but English law will be applied in interpreting the policies, because the policies will be, the original policies will be in English. And also I would like to, this is the high time that insurance, not high time, this is a good time that the insurance companies should, like we discussed earlier, especially by Hareez and others, that to invest more on technology, and especially on IT in a cost-effective way. And in some countries, they have realized that after COVID, when they shift to IT-based selling, actually they ended up selling more products than they used to before, because people can buy it more easily. So that's something insurance companies can invest further, I think, down the line, to be more IT savvy, especially on the selling side. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really, thank you for your intervention and your responses. It has been very enriching. Thank you very much. Hareez, your closing remarks, please. Mike, your mic.
Sorry, once again. Yes, I think the COVID has actually taught us a lot of important lessons for the insurance industry as to how we should be able to change ourselves, the way that we operate. And all what's been done in the past, I think we have actually been able to actually sail this particular tough period in the right way. So this transition has been an interesting one for all of us. I think there are more and more actually lessons that we can, what we have learned, we'll be able to actually do it in a better way. Another interesting note for us here is like with regard to the corporate governance regulation that's been already published. So that also will actually help us, all the insurance companies, to be focused on the right regulations. And we are looking forward to see in terms of insurance regulation, so the act to be out soon, so that will actually strengthen all the companies further to go forward in the same direction. So I think that we have got a lot of potential in the market.
Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate your time and your contribution today.
Pleasure.
Santhosh.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Janah. Well, thank you again, once again, for the opportunity. I think in my closing remark, I think what I'd like to say is that this pandemic situation has taught us nothing but one thing, that I think insurance companies should play a vital role in educating the general public on how important insurance is and the necessity of insurance, and also more than anything, understanding what you are purchasing from a company as insurance, and the coverage, whether it be the coverage or the deductible, or it shouldn't be just. I think we should educate our customers. It's just not about the premiums, or where could you get the cheapest premium, or where could you get the nicest insurance policy with the brightest colors. It's all about have you got adequate coverage? Is it value for money? I think we as insurance companies have a great responsibility to that extent, whether, each and every single policy, whether it be a third-party motor policy, which is 475 rupiah, or whether we are insuring a 500 million resort and taking about, $300,000 to $500,000 from the customer. I think we should play our responsibility in educating our customers and giving them the right product and the adequate cover necessary, whereby when in an unfortunate event incident of a claim, we that where we don't turn back and say sorry, you have not purchased the right cover, or I think that responsibility falls within us to make sure that we sell the right product. So thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Deeptha.
Thank you, Mr. Janah, for organizing, and let's meet up again like this in the future. For I have to say a very small thing at the end of the closure. There's no going back, as I said earlier. We have to be with this new normal. So if the final shape, we don't know clear it is. Still, we don't know the final shape of this crisis because we are far from the over. So that is what I had to say, that we are changing a lot and we have to get together and we have to come out with this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate your time, both Santhosh and Deeptha and Hareez. Ameel, your closing remarks, and I would add, how do you feel about the local insurance industry? Your mic.
Thank you very much, Janah. Well, thank you very much for Janah for hosting such an event. I'm very optimistic about the industry for the future. But if we are to hand over this industry to our next generation, we have to do a lot more work legally to make it successful. The problem is that, with all due respect to our friend Mr. Fiyaz, the problem is that the industry went far ahead than the regulators. Myself and Fiyaz has been discussing this very often, and there is one area where, of course, the MMA is doing hard to make sure the industry is regulated, but we have to. What I feel is that MMA need to do more than to make it a profitable industry for the next generation. We don't want our next generation to come and blame us, saying that you did not do this, you did not pressurize, you didn't do anything. Because of that, the industry is fallen. That I don't want. I'm sure my colleagues will not do that, because we know that this is a success. This can be a game changer in the Maldivian economy, provided if everything is in order. That everything is what is needed. Legal framework is important. And also the second thing is that the pandemic has taught another lesson to us, that no one else will help us if we are not willing to work together to help ourselves.
Okay. We're running out of time. Thank you very much. So it gives us time. It gives the pandemic has given us time to think out of the box. It has given time us to think deeply, and today's dialogue also have given us enlightened us today that there is room for improvement, just like any other industry. There's a lot of work that we can do together to make this industry a better industry. My last panelist, to Wahid, for your closing remarks, please.
Thank you, Janah. I think the COVID is it's a very dramatic event in the sense that we are used to physical losses in the insurance, physical losses to the properties of the insureds, but now everybody is concerned about the losses, financial losses to the balance sheet of the companies, because everything is closed down. So everybody is in a very big liquidity crisis. And I think insurance industry will shape in the future where there will be covers to cover the business interruption and to support the liquidity of companies, such as insurance guarantees and and other kind of things like that. And I think if we are to develop this industry, regulators and the insurance industry has to work very closely together. Unfortunately, this year we have been there has been a new insurance tax introduced, which is a withholding tax on all insurance premiums, and this is a big detriment for the insurance companies to really maintain the good liquidity in the companies, because 3% on premium is quite a huge cost for all the companies, and we are working with the government to make sure that this tax is waived, so that we are in a position to support other businesses, because other businesses are also in need of support from us in terms of liquidity and financial support from us and protection as well. So we hope that we can work together on this and with regulators and come to a good solution. And I'm sure that the lessons of this pandemic will benefit us in the future if we have a good strategy forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. Just one last question to Fiyaz. I'm sorry, but I think we missed, I had noted it down. There are, in addition to the insurance companies, there are also brokers and agents, right, in our industry. What are their role in the Maldivian insurance industry? Just very briefly, are they regulated enough, or do you find their performance satisfactory? Will be able to just highlight, because I think I just want to cover everything on my notes before we close.
The question is agents and brokers, what are their roles?
Yes, in the Maldivian industry.
We have around 46 to 50, around 40 to 50 insurance agents and close to 10 insurance brokers. Insurance agents are actually an extension of each company. Each agent is attached to a company. So insurance agents provide service on behalf of that company. On the other hand, insurance brokers, they are insurance consultants. So they don't work for a specific insurance company, but they provide insurance related consultancy service to potential clients, policyholders. So they will explain to the policyholder what is the best available in the market in terms of available insurance from different companies. So we also regulate and supervise them, both of these insurance intermediaries, and also regulating intermediary also is a growing part, and is also a new phenomenon for us. Around 10 years back, we didn't have any of them here. So right now we scrutinize them and we license them with all the, and we also, but there is a need to improve everything. Our current regulations, as well as the methods that we use to supervise them.
So it's very regulated, and their performance is also helping the industry, right?
Exactly.
And
yes.
there is also room for more Maldivians to get engaged in industry, which means you have quite a number of brokers and agents, as you said. So which means it is not just the few people who are here. There are opportunities for the young youth to be part of this whole process, right?
If I can add one more, yes, insurance intermediaries, both brokers and agents, provide a vital role not only to the insurance companies but also to the policyholders to understand their the policies and to know what they actually really want. And currently, they are providing an excellent service. Plus, like you mentioned, these are sometimes individuals and sometimes companies, corporations providing this service. So, and it is a very lucrative business right now in Maldives. So individuals, they have this opportunity to get a few training from insurance, a small training from insurance company, and providing this service. And there are some people who are doing this quite successfully. as individual agents and corporate agents and brokers.
And most of them are Maldivians, right?
Almost all of them are Maldivians, yes.
Oh, that's a very good sign.
And for an agent, they have to be a Maldivian individual, yes.
All right, great. Thank you very much. That was a really good session. That's all I can do because I have extended it to the max I could. It's 6:15 p.m. ready for prayers. Thank you very much for your valuable time. I don't think I could get a better panel than you guys on this industry. And Fiyaz, thank you very much for joining us, especially with the industry players and the regulator together on the same platform. It was really helpful. I think it went well, and I hope you are happy with how we conducted business today. And I look forward for another opportunity because we hope to continue. I don't know when, but we will definitely, throughout the year at different intervals, try to conduct something like this on the various industries. Tomorrow will be our last day of this webinar series, the 10th episode, and tomorrow is on road to economic recovery, a post-COVID-19 Maldives. We have some of the best economists in the country joining us tomorrow, so I hope you would be also joining us in some way on Facebook Live or watching us on TV or on our link. Thank you very much once again. Really appreciate it. It was really enlightening, and I've been, it's a good experience for me to be with you and learn about your industry. I'm also a client to many of you, so good to see you and good to engage with you like this. Really, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.